Good morning. It's Friday, August 11th, and as usual, we're gathered here to solve the New York Times crossword puzzle. Apparently, I've got a 19-day streak going, which is pretty surprising. I didn't even realize that I've been so diligent for the past nearly 3 weeks. What a guy. Full disclosure, I have a little bit of information about today's puzzle. My buddy Jeremy texted me that it was super easy, one of his top 5 Friday solve times. And so I wasn't sure if I was going to solve, but I figured I'd give it a shot and maybe go for a little more speed than content this time. It's constructed by John Clark Levin, who I'm not familiar with, but I'm sure he's done a great job for us here today. Wrapping up a pretty mellow week, but it got a sold out concert at the venue tonight at the amphitheater. We got Chicago coming, so a lot of the 60s and 70s crowd singing their favorite hits from the yacht rock 80s. So that'll be fun. But in the meantime, we're going to solve this puzzle. Hope your week was good too. And let's do it. Apparently, they've updated their terms and they just keep reminding me of it because they think I care. All right, there we go. Activation phrase for many smart devices. Music genre for Lorde and Lana Del Rey. Yikes. Certain dealers' bailiwick. What many sentences end with? Like, or else? Hyperbole from someone who's dreaming big. Brown. Like, what? Veep between Hubert and Gerald. My goodness. Is it Spiro? Like the Nixon's guy? Spiro? Too good for. Dang it. Like darn. Handled things outside. So something with a handle. Like what is a bin? Ibis or egret are birds. Ah, boy. Jeremy, you misled me. This isn't easy. Entered a state of detente, say. Like a truce, like made peace. Some gear for lepidopterists. I'm sure I didn't say that right. Play on repeat, like loop something or go to the league. Huh. Contents of some bags and boxes. Coastal water feature. Sole employee. Like a fish monger. A Continental's a Lincoln. Oops. Lincoln's my dad's name, so there you go. Dr. Dre took out Rosencrantz and Guildenstern. Nowhere to go but down. Places where master seen indoors. 3 Czars of Bulgaria. Dune. Is that Lorna Dune? All in favor. It goes on and on and on. Needs some icing, say. Like is dry. Deprive of threads. Horned one south of the Horn of Africa. Trust me, this is the right call. 1 of 8 in B52. Is it member? Must be member. There's a bunch of them, right? Think outside the box. Fresh. I want that to be sassy, but it's not. Fodder for literature test. No idea. Terrible first pass. Jeremy, I hate you. Thanks. C8H18. White Russian ingredient. Okay, so that's got Kahlua. Opens the door for, maybe, like sees in. CIA's predecessor was the OSS, I think, right? London something park, no idea. Pictograph, no idea. Sore spot. Locale in Belmar, New Jersey that lent its name to a noted rock and roll band. I want that to be like the Asbury Jukes, but great something 80s 90s drama that won 15 Emmys. Oh, it's probably LA Law, right? Susan Lucci. Much land in Oklahoma, like tribal. Tomato and basil pasta sauce. Pomodoro, right? Alt pop must be. Sentences end with pasta sauce ingredient is olive oil. Movie featuring the song "You Can Fly, You Can Fly, You Can Fly." Okay. Peter Pan, right? There we go. Traveler Stopover. Okay, so this is The Sky's the Limit. Sky's the Limit. Brown. Traveler Stopover is a hostel. Neighbor of a Kosovar. Is that like a Serb? Who painted the dream caused by the flight of a... Oh my goodness. Aforementioned. Upper body workout target is probably your pecs, right? Rebuff. Turner once big in the music industry. Turner. I mean, I'm thinking it's like a record player, but... Oh, CD player. Oh, so I got a bunch of stuff wrong. Ugh. Cookie flavored ice cream treat is an Oreo something. Hearty hellos. Meal. Sweet sounds in a nursery, like coos. Travel that doesn't require a hotel reservation. It's like a walk-in. Nowhere to go but down, like penned. Told ya. Star Close to Venus. Is it like Serena Williams? Motley. Like ragtag. Set off. Pauses to sizzle, say. Together, like as one. Classic M. Night Shyamalan film. It's not like they didn't warn us. Oof. No idea. All in favor, like pros, fours. World Cup team from Holland. That's the Netherlands, so like... I don't know. Oh, whoops, that was Ava Longoria. Doing terribly here, Jeremy. Activation phrase for many smart devices. Okay, so go. Season feels right. Kahlua feels right. OSS. Certain dealers Ballywick. Senses in with parole. Brown. Ale. Brown ale. Be between here. So this is probably Spiro. Dang it. Handled things outside. What is this? This must be an O. Handled things. Oars. Entered a state of detente. This is like ethane. A sore spot. A lesion. Something. Oh, wrap or go to the league. Okay, there you go. Contents of some bags in boxes. Bags in boxes. Yikes. Sole employee. Took out, like iced. Well, that's a duo. Rosencrantz and Guildenstern. Nowhere to go but down. I don't think it's penned. It's places where masks, spas, like a facial treatment, facial mask. 3 Tsars of Bulgaria. Well, this must be snub, right? Rebuff. Name of 3 Tsars of Bulgaria. This must be Boris. All in favor. It goes on and on and on. Saga. Needs some icing, say. Deprive of threads. Like disrobe. Horned one. This must be a new. So this must be knight. Sautés. Trust me, this is the right call. 1 of 8 in a B-52 is an engine. I think outside the box is innovate. Fresh. Fodder for a literature test. The Dark Ages? I don't know. Is this ethane? No. That's not even how you would spell ethane. No idea. Opens the door for, maybe. Is it not Spiro? Or is it not Ors? I'm going to say this is Legion. Locale in Belmar, New Jersey that lent its name to a noted rock and roll band. This must be Serb. A cobbler. This is a sole employee, like a shoe. It's not a fish thing, it's a shoe thing. This must be Dali. State of Big Pond. Like eased. Aforementioned. Like said. This must be nets. Said. Keys come in bags and boxes. Okay. Rock and roll band. Oh, E Street. Like Bruce Springsteen. Cookie flavored ice cream treat. Oreo cone? Hearty hellos. Oh, bear hugs. Meals are a pass. Travel that doesn't require a hotel reservation. A day trip. Nowhere to go but down. Like peak. Told ya. Knew it. All in favor eyes. Strip. There we go. And then this is prose, and this is passages, and this is signs, and you won't regret it. This must be Oreo cone. Restal. Oh, rested. Oh, that was dumb to put in Netherlands when I didn't really know how to spell it. Okay, let's finish this thing up and move on with our lives. Certain dealers, Ballywick. A dealer. What's... Dang it, like nuts. Oops. Handled things outside are... is Legion? Is that how you spell Legion? Handled things. What is this? Octane? Opens the door for, maybe. Oh, greets. So like, okay, goalie? Oh, okay. Gotta be okay. Car sales? Oaks Park? Okay, Google. So glyph and hose? Yikes. To be honest, if I finished a Friday puzzle in 1420, normally I'd be like, okay, that was fine. Nothing to see here. But the fact that Jeremy told me it was really easy, I was sure this was a sub 10 solve for me. And it wasn't even close to that. So threw a little curveball here. And honestly, I'm surprised that he did so well with this one. It seems like there's a lot of unusual fill that we don't typically see. Starting with OK Google, I mean, I've never heard. I mean, I know Alexa and I know Siri, but I'm surprised. Like, okay, I don't even know what device that activates. So shows how smart I am. Is it like a Google phone? Like, it must be, right? Alt pop. I'm not a huge fan of these, just like mix and match prefix with a type of music thing, but it's fine. Car sales are the Ballywick, I guess. Like, I don't know. I kind of thought Ballywick was like a trick, um, but I don't clearly know what it means. Sentences do end with parole. The sky's the limit. Brown ale. Spiro Agnew. This is a tough. I mean, Spiro's a tough bit of trivia. E Street, if you aren't familiar with Bruce Springsteen, is a very tough bit of fill. And a glyph, as in like petroglyph or hieroglyph. Um, that's just not a word we see often. Is it even a word or is it just a suffix? I'm not sure. Uh, above, nuts, hose, waiter, eased. I mean, it's a lot of stuff. Like, nets isn't a hard bit of fill, but a lepidopterist, knowing that that's a person who catches insects, that's tough. I like this. Rap or go to the league. That is like, it's crazy how that is a genuine decision for some of these guys like 2 Chainz who, trying to decide what's the best way out of the neighborhood they grew up in. And yeah, anyways, I don't know much about 2 Chainz except he hosts a show on YouTube called World's Most Expensivest Shit. And he just does reviews of things that are crazy expensive, like, the most expensive bottle of water in the world, that kind of thing. So recommend that for when you got nothing to do. Tease, Rhea, Cobbler. I mean, sole employee is a decent way to clue it. It's good wordplay and misdirection, I guess. But man, I was thinking about fish for sure. And now that I'm looking at the answer cobbler, I'm thinking about a cobbler for dessert, Lincoln Continental, Dr. Dre, Iced, Duo, Peak, Spas, Boris. I mean, I wonder how many people solving this puzzle have any more detailed information about those czars of Bulgaria than the fact that their name is Boris. Again, like, sort of a tough bit of fill, tough trivia, and the only, I'm just sort of like broadly generalizing that people in Bulgaria might be named Boris, and turns out I'm right. Lorna Doone, I think this is also a cookie, right? Eyes, Saga, Aches, Strip, New, You Won't Regret It. I mean, these are both okay grid spanners. The Sky's the Limit, You Won't Regret It. They're fine. I don't really have any beef with them, but nothing too special. Engine, Innovate, Rested, Passages. I'm curious about this. Like, I would have thought that every different octane had a different chemical composition, like that maybe like an 87 octane was C8H19 or something like that. And that the different qualities of gas would correspond to a different composition, but I guess not. Kahlua, White Russian, just makes me think of Big Lebowski, one of the greatest films of all time. Terrific. Greets, OSS, Oaks Park. Um, so this is an interesting way to take a non bit of trivia and turn it into a trivia clue. I don't know Oaks Park. I don't know Epsom Downs. And it was just because I had a KS here that I figured maybe I should go Oaks. Cliff, Legion. Just a note about petroglyphs. One time I went camping deep in the desert outside of Moab, Utah, in Canyonlands National Park, and was staying with my buddy Will, and we were at this campsite specifically to see some petroglyphs, from like old, 1,000-year-old petroglyphs from Native American tribe. And we pitched our tents and wandered off into the desert and spent, 6 hours wandering around looking for these drawings on a wall. And then we returned to our camp just before dark, and turns out they were right there. You could see them right from the tent. So that's my glyph story. Legion, E Street. I mean, Bruce Springsteen is amazing. And most people who are still touring, like, for instance, we've got Chicago tonight. They're sort of the same era. None of the original guys play in Chicago. Peter Cetera is no longer there. Bruce Springsteen is still out there cranking, and he's putting on some of the longest live performances in the whole industry. High energy. That guy's awesome. Great Ape, LA Law, Tribal, a Pomodoro. I know the word Pomodoro. I would have had no idea that it was a tomato and basil pasta sauce. I don't think I've ever ordered a Pomodoro, but it sounds delicious, especially with some olive oil. Peter Pan. I mean, that's a pretty good stack there. Pomodoro, olive oil, Peter Pan, all pretty good. Then in the opposite corner, we have CD player, Oreo cone, bear hugs. Oreo cone, I'm not such a huge fan of because then, is that just a cone of Oreo ice cream? I don't think you'd probably go to the counter and say, Oreo cone, please. But I don't know. Maybe it's a pre-made thing that you buy in a package. Could be. Traveler's Stopover is a hostile Serb Dolly F. And Dolly, when I read this, I was like, yeah, how would I ever know that? And then once I filled it in, I was like, oh, obviously that's Salvador Dali. Said Pex, Snub, CD player. I like the way this is clued. It's leading you towards Ike Turner or Tina Turner, which obviously wouldn't fit there. But CD player, it feels like maybe it could use a question mark at the end of this clue just to clarify that it is sort of punny and misdirection-y. But hey, can't win them all. Oreo cone, I already mentioned. Bear hugs. That's a good one. Repast. Sweet Sounds of Nursery Coos. Day Trip. Knew It. Serena. Ragtag. I like that expression, ragtag. And like calling someone ragtag is pretty insulting. Or calling a group of people ragtag is just like really, really condescending. Ignite, Saute, As One, Signs. Never saw that film. Probably should. Pros, and Ned, and Ava Longoria. So, I don't know. Definitely didn't get what I was expecting here. Kudos to Jeremy on a very fast solve, and I will congratulate him offline. Not too bad for me, but man, I mean, that was a very slow start for a puzzle that I was expecting to be very easy. So yeah, I kind of liked that it threw me a curveball, gave me a little bit of a surprise. If I'd flown through this thing in 7 minutes, it wouldn't have been as exciting, and definitely wouldn't have been as good content. So that's the name of the game here, people. It's all about content. Anyways, if you're still here, please click the like button. If you're still here and have not yet subscribed to my YouTube channel, then do us both a favor and sign up for this fantastic content. Click the subscribe button. And please do me a third favor, which is to join me again next time for another live solve of the New York Times crossword. Thanks. Bye.